Shubham walked the familiar halls of his 11th grade life with a detachment that earned him the reputation of indifference. To his classmates, he seemed like a puzzle, a riddle they couldn't quite solve. But Shubham knew what he wanted, a life sculpted by his passion for art. His room became his sanctuary, a space where he could excommunicate the world and dive into the depths of his creativity. Closing the door was a symbolic act of shutting out the judgment, the expectations that screamed at him from the outside. Inside, the air was filled with the scent of inspiration, and the walls echoed with the whispers of his dreams. In the solitude of his room, Shubham found peacefulness. His hands molded clay into expressions of his innermost thoughts, and his mind wandered through the landscapes of artistic possibilities. His mirror reflected not just his image, but the essence of his uniqueness, and in those moments, Shubham believed he was special. Outside the haven of his room, teenage hormones collided with his unwavering knowledge of what he wanted. The drama of adolescence unfolded, bringing with it the chaos of conflicting emotions. The pressure to conform to societal expectations clashed with the rebellious spirit that burned within him. His parents, strong believers in the stability of government service, envisioned a future for Shubham that diverged from the path he longed to take. Their dreams for him were painted in shades of bureaucracy, stability, and societal respect. They saw a life defined by secure job positions and financial stability, oblivious to the flames of passion that burned within their son. His father, with a strict tone, said,
Shubham, you will definitely pursue a degree as we choose, and in those 3 years, you will prepare for civil service examinations. That's it.
Shubham, with a determined tone, said,
No, I would love to enroll myself in any art school to pursue my passion, sculpting. I love that. Why don't you understand?
His father's face changed in a second before he started to shout at his son for always thinking of turning his mere hobby of sculpting into a career. Shubham's mother said, Shubham, if you are not okay with pursuing history, then go for any subject as you wish, as the civil service exam only requires you to have an undergraduate degree. Son, we want your happiness. Can you understand? Shubham sighed and replied,
Oh, really? You all want me to be happy, right? That's why you try to rip my dreams away from me in name of love. I understand it clearly.
Shubham's father grew more tense, his features more annoyed, and he said,
You are my son, and I want you to be a bureaucrat. That's it.
Shubham sighed again and retired to his room. Shubham found himself caught in the crossfire of tradition and individuality. The clash intensified, leaving scars on the familial bonds that had once been his foundation. The outside world, with its judgments and expectations, screamed at him, urging him to surrender. Yet, every evening, Shubham retreated to his room, seeking refuge from the harsh voices of the outside world. The familiar routine of closing the door became a ritual of self preservation. In his quiet room, he found the strength to endure, to rejuvenate. His room became a cocoon where the caterpillar of his dreams could metamorphose into the butterfly of his aspirations. The sculptures that adorned the space became silent witnesses to his struggles and victories. In this haven, Shubham discovered the resilience of his spirit. Shubham stood in front of the mirror with an expression quite normal for him to witness. He saw how much frustration was building up on his face. He just closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Once, when he opened his eyes, he smiled at his reflection and said,
It's okay, Shubham. The world can say you are not special, but you need to remember my words always.
He pointed his fingers at his reflection in the mirror and said,
You are special. You are special, and you have got a dream of making sculptures.
Both his hands are wide open now, as if indicating the sculptures in the room. He adjusted his posture to the side so he could see some of his made sculptures in the mirror frame. He said,
See, Shubham, these sculptures are your dreams. Every sculpture here takes you back to your sweet memory. How did you feel? How soothing it was when you were making all this. Listen to your heart. You really know that it's not just your mere hobby, but a strong inner calling.
He adjusted his tone and continued.
Yeah, now no one understands you, but one day everyone will feel very proud to be close to you. Every great person has gone through such obstacles in their life, so you are not the exception. Cling on to your dream. You can, come on, Shubham.
Shubham, involving himself too much in the scene, just forgot where he was. He saw himself in the midst of sculpting a statue. His eyes were very concentrated, bringing every minute detail from his mind to his sculpture. His fingers worked as if they knew where to go and what to do. He was immersed in the total scene. A smile interrupted his work. As if he turned to his side, he opened his eyes, got back to his senses, and smiled at his reflection. But again, the same smile that interrupted his scene happened, so he became cautious. He just turned his head towards the window. In between the curtains, he saw two eyes looking at him with a mysterious smile. Shubham pointed fingers at that person and shook his head as if questioning, but words did not help him. As he drew back the curtain completely to his right side, his eyes met a mysterious girl perched on a branch of the mango tree, sipping the nectar of a ripe mango. He got scared, but still tried to stay composed and asked,
Who are you?
The girl, who was busy sipping the mango, smiled and gestured to him as if asking him to eat mango. Shubham denied and asked,
Who are you and what are you doing here?
The girl smiled and said, Can't you see I'm a girl and moreover eating mango here? Pointing her fingers to the half sipped mango in her other hand. Shubham kind of started to feel irritated with her reply. Before questioning her more, he heard his mother's voice. He closed the curtains and stood before that, as if blocking his mother from seeing the mysterious girl. His mother, on seeing his tensed face, got very upset. She said, Shubham, we can persuade your dad. You don't worry, dear. Before him answering her, Shubham's mother saw sweat on his forehead, surely because of the mysterious stranger, and without knowing that, his mother caught him by hand as if supporting and asked, Do you feel chest pain? Shubham kind of got annoyed and asked,
What?
She said, Yesterday I read in newspaper that a boy of your age got a sudden heart attack and died on the spot. Tell me, are you okay? Do you want to go to hospital? Shubham kind of lost his words. He is now more tensed because a stranger girl is listening to all this. So he said,
Mom, I'm okay.
Finally, his mother went out of his room. He sighed, locking his room door and moved the curtain to the side, thinking she may have gone by now. To his surprise, she is still sipping the mango, waving at him. Shubham finally said,
I can't believe you.
She smiled at him and said, Naisha, as if introducing herself. Shubham smiled at this sort of introduction, especially from a person sitting on the mango tree branch. She continued, It's all right if others don't understand you, but I can see you have a happy place for you to rejuvenate. It's good. It's extraordinary. Shubham could not help but smile, as if he finally saw a soul starting to make him feel comfortable. Shubham saw that she had an aura that whispered of magic. Her eyes held secrets, and her smile seemed to unlock hidden chambers in Shubham's soul. Her presence spoke of interconnected dreams and the beauty of embracing the unknown, weaving a narrative that resonated with his artistic spirit. She somehow completed her mango in hand, then smiled at him by plucking a raw mango now instead of the ripened one. She took a piece of paper from her pant pocket, then by wrapping it onto the mango, she threw it at his window. Shubham caught it and thanked his cricket loving self. He said,
Hey, I don't like to have raw mango.
She smiled and gestured to read the paper in his hand. He just put the mango aside and then opened the paper. He saw it is a notice and it is now wrinkled because of this mango courier service and it is about the sculpture molding competition. He read the address of the venue and it is just 5 kilometers from his residence. He just became so happy. The competition is going to happen next Sunday. He then returned to his senses and looked for Naisha by lifting his face to the branch she was sitting before. Now it's empty. He looked down to the tree, and there He saw her standing with two ripened mangoes in her hand, waving at him with a smile. He kind of screamed in joy. How do you know I'm interested? Hey! Before he completes his words, she runs to the other side of the road and is now out of sight. He said, Hey, you stop! Hey! The next moment, he found himself on the bed, his eyes very tired, as if not opening completely. Then he forced open his eyes. He saw all his sculptures there. The window curtains were kind of closed. Suddenly, he ran towards the window, stumbled on the chair, and flinched in pain. But it didn't stop him from reaching the window. He moved the window curtains to the side so he could see the complete view without anything blocking his vision. He looked straight into the mango tree branch. No trace of the person. He called, Naisha, Naisha. Suddenly, he sensed someone behind his back. He turned with joy and said, You here? His words stopped because his mother's confused look greeted him. He said, Mom, it's you? His mother asked him back, Whom are you calling? I think I heard a name starting with Nai. Shubham suddenly filled in the words in her sentence and told her, I did not call anyone but said nice. He couldn't suppress his laughter at his lying skill. His mother asked with confused look, What's nice? Mango tree? He just nodded his head, not sure about his voice now, because he was already suppressing his smile. His mother shook her head, dismissing her whole investigation, and handed him his glass of orange juice and left the room in a hurry, as she had to prepare food. Shubham started to sip his orange juice and also wondered about the girl. He put his juice glass on the table near the window and started to search for the notice as well as the raw mango that she threw at him, but he could not find either one there. He just got a slight irritation. Suddenly, he went to his laptop and searched for the sculpture competition details as he remembered it. To his surprise, there is an upcoming sculpture making competition next Sunday. He could not believe his eyes. He pinched himself and flinched in pain. He mumbled, The details are true, but where does she go or vanish? He could not distinguish between dream and reality, he thought. He mumbled once again, Who are you, Naisha? Are you real? He then turned to his reflection in the mirror and asked, Is that a dream? Can dreams be this real? Will she be real as if the details of the competition? He waited as if his reflection would say something other than reflecting him, but nothing happened. He sighed and said, Anyways, thanks to Naisha for her this mango courier service or dream courier service. I'm gonna participate in the competition. By telling these words, he just sank onto his bed. He felt that their encounter by the window became a bridge between reality and the ethereal. Naisha brought a sense of mystery into Shubham's life, a touch of magic that blurred the boundaries between the tangible and the intangible. She became the unexpected muse, inspiring him to carve not just with clay, but with the raw emotions of his existence. And as the mango tree outside his window continued to bear witness his doubtful glances once in a while, Shubham realized that sometimes in the mysterious smiles and the magic of unexpected friendships, even in dreams, one could find the strength to sculpt their own destiny, regardless of the expectations that screamed from outside world. The end. So friends, now the most important part, the connection of the story and self-love. What if Shubham is you or us and Naisha is life? Let me elaborate. Whatever the situation you are in your life right now, you need to have a happy place for your soul to reflect, to rejuvenate, like Shubham in our story. So once we really dismiss all the loud voices of the world to hear our soul, then, of course, life comes to guide us more magically towards our journey. It is our first responsibility to deny all the negative opinions of others and imprint our strong words. We could sculpt ourselves into a more best self, and life could polish it more by bringing opportunities as Naisha did in our story. So now, why wait? Go find yourself a happy place. Then train yourself to be the best person and tempt life to be your super guide rather than the aggressive opponent player that you find difficulty to play with. The key is inside your soul, so search for it. It's a part of self love. Think about it, friend. By telling you all this, your moon friend is vanishing with a very last question to you guys. Friends, just subscribe to be my friend and don't forget to like the video. And as well, find your happy place.